Cowboys 19H Andy Jacobsohn, staff photographer Dallas Cowboy owner Jerry Jones speaks as Boise State linebacker Leighton Vander Esch is introduced during a press conference after arriving at the Star for the first time after being picked the day before by the Dallas Cowboys with the 19th overall pick in the 2018 National Football League Draft in Frisco, Texas Friday, April 27, 2018. Andy Jacobsohn, The Dallas Morning News by David Moore, Kate Hairopoulos, Jon Machota, Brandon George, Jean-Jacques Taylor, Newy Scruggs, Crispy Scales and Matt Mosley. It's time for another installment of the Cowboys Roundtable, where our veteran crew of beat writers and contributors break down some of the off-season's hottest topics. This roundtable features Sports Day's David Moore, Kate Hairopoulos, Jon Machota and Brandon George, NBC5's Jean-Jacques Taylor and Newy Scruggs, and Sports Day contributors Crispy Scales and Matt Mosley. In this installment, our team debates whether or not the Cowboys will win another Super Bowl, with Jerry Jones serving as general manager. Scroll to the bottom of this page to let us know what you think. David Moore, what 3 Super Bowls aren't enough for you? Going on 22-plus years without a title is rubbing you the wrong way? Well fine, Jerry Jones will get you another one before his reign is done. But let's clear up a practical matter. Jones is more owner than general manager. His son, Stephen, has had more to do with the day-to-day workings of the club for several years. His influence is stronger now than it's ever been. But as owner, Jerry can supersede any decision the club makes, so I get your point. Why will this drought end soon? The Cowboys have a dominant running back in his first contract in Ezekiel Elliott and a winning quarterback in Dak Prescott that was taken in the 4th round. The salary cap flexibility afforded the Cowboys because of this in the next 2 seasons, along with some promising young players on defense, has the window opened wide these next several years. 10 things you may not know about Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, like his funny Beyoncé story from 2004. Kate Hairopoulos, well, it could happen. It's hard to see it being this season though, and time is of the essence. I do think Jerry's as motivated as ever after watching rival Philadelphia win it all a year after finishing last in the NFC East. Still, the Cowboys are also looking at long-term plans and trying to remain fiscally responsible instead of going all in on player additions, etc., as they did during the Tony Romo era. Jerry's allowing input from others, including Vice President Stephen Jones and personnel guru Will McClay. But it will depend on Dak Prescott becoming the quarterback they believe he is, running back Ezekiel Elliott remaining eligible and returning to Pro Bowl form, and perhaps Coach Jason Garrett proving worthy of Jerry's loyalty all of these years. That's just for starters. Jon Machota, the football gods don't seem to be on his side recently. Maybe he could change that by finally putting Jimmy Johnson in the Ring of Honor. As long as Jerry Jones is alive, he'll have the GM title. I have no great reason to lean either way other than the NFL has such great parity, so you'd think it will eventually happen again. He's taken some steps back over the years, allowing Stephen Jones to have more say, and I think that's a good thing. So what the heck? I'll go with yes. Brandon George, wow, that's a tough question. So many things have to fall right to win a Super Bowl. Because Jerry Jones is always going to work to field a competitive team and spend as much money as he can in doing it, you'd have to say the odds are in the Cowboys' favor. Then again, Jones is 75 and you know he'll remain general manager of the Cowboys as long as he's breathing. And, as he's said before, he doesn't have time to have a bad time. These dynamics made it a difficult question to answer. But since I must answer it, I'll just act like the last 25 years didn't happen and say yes, the Cowboys will win another Super Bowl under Jerry. He'll do everything he can to bring at least one more Super Bowl home under his watch as Cowboys owner, general manager. Jean-Jacques Taylor, it's hard to picture the Cowboys winning another Super Bowl in the next 10 years, that's how long I think Jerry will be the GM, because they haven't been a top contender in so long. It's also hard to picture Dallas winning a Super Bowl because Jason Garrett can be such a liability on game day. I really like Garrett's preparation during the week, but he has hurt the Cowboys more than he's helped the Cowboys over the years on game day. There's no evidence that's going to change anything soon. Newy Scruggs, show me another club that operates like the Cowboys that wins championships. Jerry Jones is the master at making money and entertaining fans. He may be the best we have ever seen in modern-day sports at making the sport entertaining. When it comes to winning a Super Bowl, I'll go back to old Bill Parcells saying, all I can go by is what I see. Fact, the Cowboys under Jerry Jones have not been back to the NFC Championship game without a player Jimmy Johnson drafted. It's been over 20 years since the Cowboys played in that game. That's over 20 years Jones has been trying to do it his way without having to give Jimmy any credit. How's that working out? Jones keeps on rolling with Jason Garrett as his head coach. He held Wade Phillips to a higher standard than Garrett. Going by what I have seen, I can't say I see the Cowboys winning another title with Jones as the GM. Jerry Jones just blew his advantage of doubling as Cowboys owner, GM. 2 alarming lessons we learned. Christy Scales, the answer has got to be, yes, otherwise we should all pick up our marbles and go home. Winning the Super Bowl is the reason the players play, the coaches coach, and the fans support their team. At least that's the way it's supposed to be in Dallas, which has a rich winning tradition but has not sniffed a Super Bowl in 22 years. Sure, Jerry as the general manager has in previous years put the fun in dysfunction, which at least keeps things interesting from a reporter's perspective. The structure of the Cowboys front office, with Jerry as both the owner and GM, is unlike every other team. But the team has drafted much better than in recent years, and Jerry has shown in the past several years that he's averse to overpaying stars that may be getting past their prime, which is why DeMarcus Ware's Super Bowl ring came with the Broncos, not the Cowboys. In other words, Jerry has changed his way of operating the team over the past several years, and the success in the draft has brought cornerstone players like Sean Lee, Tyron Smith, Travis Frederick, DeMarcus Lawrence, Zach Martin, and Doc. It will be interesting to see if Jerry's and the personnel department's decision to go with a committee approach at receiver will pay dividends in the coming season. If not, then Jerry the general manager has once again opened himself to sharp scrutiny. Matt Mosley, I think it will happen. First off, Jerry will live another 20 years, easily. Didn't he say he had the brain of a 40-year-old man? He will get plenty more cracks at this. And the Eagles just won one with a backup quarterback. You can also get hot in the playoffs and win one, like the 2007 Giants. I think this is going to happen.